about to do it, James. Thank you, everyone, for joining in with us this evening. We are super excited to be here with you live. Share this podcast, guys.
Share.
Please share it. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. I am Ashley D, and I am joined here with my co-host, Doctor. Let's get it together. Dr.
I worked hard for that, y'all.
Storm McCullough. She is here with us. We just wanted to come in right now, guys. First and foremost, you could have been anywhere tonight, and you are here with us on our very first podcast.
Yes.
This is the Encouraging Woman, She Speaks podcast, episode 1. Season 1. Let's get it right. Season 1. Episode 1.
Yes.
This is such an exciting time. I'm so excited for you guys to be with us today. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about myself, and then we're going to move forward in the podcast. I am Ashley D.
Ashley D.
Let's get it right, okay? So I am Ashley D. I am just super excited and just eager to get this information out to you guys, because I believe that tonight is going to bless so many people.
Yes, it is.
The Encouraging Woman was established 2020. Can you believe that? 2020.
So we almost 4 years later?
Man, we almost 4 years later. So let me tell you about God. One thing about God, when it comes to big deals take a long time.
Yes, it does.
So just understand that this is something that has been established for some time now. It was during a time frame when I needed some encouragement. I was just going through so much, y'all. We go through things, right? Storm?
Daily.
Dr. Storm. We go through things in life, and it was just the Encouraging Woman. It just stuck out to me. It just resonated in my spirit. It was like God was trying to tell me, Ashley, you got to get some information out to the people.
Right.
You got a story to tell people.
Right.
You got to let them know who is Ashley D. Okay. Ashley's from the beautiful state of Florida. By the way, of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's get it right.
Broward
to be even more precise. We from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, man. I mean, I was from this area, and it's been such a journey just bringing out the Encouraging Woman.
Yes.
It was one of those things where I went through the pandemic. I mean, we all went through the pandemic, right? We went through the pandemic, and you did it alone. It was like my career is actually as a public servant. And being a public servant, you have to go through so many things. You have to be the fixer for everyone.
Yes.
So the Encouraging Woman was one of those things I was like, man, God, like my schedule's changing. I got my son I'm dealing with. I got so many things I'm dealing with in private.
Right.
And I tried to figure out
in private
the things we go through in private, y'all.
Especially as women.
Man, it's like one of those things that you go through it and you're just sitting there like, okay, God, what's next? How do I get through it? And God was like, actually start journaling.
Yes.
Write down things that you want to tell the people. Write down things because there's so much more is about to come for you in life that I'm going to continue to bless you with and pour into you, and you're going to pour into others.
Right.
So the Encouraging Woman became just a birth for me. I was going through a breakup. That cheating thing, y'all. That's bad, y'all. But I healed.
Yes.
I healed from that situation, and I learned from it.
Right.
When you're going through domestic violence, when you're going through the heartbreak, the heartache, just trying to be a strong mom. I think Black women, we try our best to just be the best at everything.
The independent, strong women.
The independent, strong woman that your grandmama told you had to be.
Yes.
So that was how the Encouraging Woman came about. It was on pause.
Yes.
But now God gave us the green light.
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to talk about a little bit further about the green light a little further throughout the podcast. So without any further ado, I want to bring on this wonderful woman, guys. Like, let me tell y'all a little bit about Dr. Storm McCullough. This woman is amazing. Okay. From the time I first met her, this is actually my sorority sister.
Yes, LS to be
my line sister, y'all. You know, you meet your line sisters, you're gonna love everybody, but this one was special. She just had this radiant going on, like, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I have to learn more about her. I have to love on her. I want to be intentional in all my sisters' lives.
Yes.
But she is one I never forget when I met her and just going through the journey with her. Like, you never know what anyone's going through. But Dr. McCullough just was one that she inspired me. I'm sure we neck and neck with each other, y'all. But let me tell you, she is one that I remember when we had our come out show and she went through something. She's going to talk a little bit about it, but she went through something. And the minute I saw her, I was like, that's Storm!
Because I wasn't supposed to show up.
She was not supposed to show up, y'all. And I was like, that is, like I said, this girl is strong. I thought I went through some things because we're going to talk about the things that I've gone through. But when I say Dr. McCullough hopped up on that stage and she did her strolling, I was just like, she came through and I'm telling y'all, I'm going to pull up the video one day and show y'all. But she killed it. And I mean, from that very moment, I knew it was something special about her. Like, she just continues to thrive. She continues to push me even. This is my accountability. Listen, first of all, I asked Dr. Storm several times. I asked her several times for her action. What was your bio?
Yeah, I'm like,
I said, no.
You need my bio?
No, man. First of all,
you ain't getting that.
She is my accountability partner, my prayer partner.
Thank you.
Okay? She is my all in all when it comes to my businesses. Okay? She's like my marketing, my all of that, all the above. Okay? Let me tell you.
Bio who? You gotta roll that thing up.
Bio, y'all. But I'm so thankful that she just graduated recently with her doctoral degree. And we're going to talk about that. But I just want you guys to know that Dr. Storm is here. And we're going to go ahead and give her the mic for a moment. And we're going to just continue to talk and have conversation. Because what this podcast is not, y'all. This is not church. No. This ain't Bible study.
No.
This is just to give you some encouragement. Something to when you're laying there at night and you need something to look at that is positive.
Right.
This is what this is all about. It is not one of those things where we're trying to we want you guys to understand that you are not alone.
Yes.
We all go through things. And we are here to help. We're going to help you guys. We're going to get through this. And that's just what this is about.
Yes. Like village.
It is.
It's that village.
Yes. So go ahead, Dr. McCullough. Tell us all about you. Tell us about you.
It's Dr. Storm.
Dr.
Storm.
Hard
for y'all. Oh, you know what? I am so proud of you.
Man, come on, man. Don't do it. We ain't crying.
I am so proud of you for the simple fact of excuse me if I get emotional because I am going to start crying. That's why I got my tissue paper right here.
She does have a tissue, y'all.
I have seen you go through. And you came through. And you still go through.
Still pushing.
So let me introduce myself before I get excited.
We do.
So my name is Dr. Storm McCullough, and I'm just so humbly here that I am actually a part of this amazing movement.
Yes.
Because I am such a private person, and it's this one over here. I'm gonna call him my LS for the night because we do have our Founders Day coming up.
We do.
Delta Sigma Theta.
Don't start.
My LS has pushed me into new dimensions, and I'm more of the person that's just really behind the scenes. I just want to do the work, keep my life private as much as I can, and just do the work. And Ashley's like, well, sis, you got to get over that because God has called you to do this and this, and you just got to get in the forefront.
Come on, man.
So I'm super excited that the Encouraging Woman is actually here in a podcast format because I believe and we believe that as women, we just go through some things on our own or we do have that close net. But I always say, especially as a young, woman growing up in this society, I just want to sit at the table with them.
That's it. We always
because when you think about our grandmas and grandmas,
yes,
they're the ones that have that kind of wisdom on them. But if you look at today's society, all of that is dying off.
It is.
So when it comes to just being in this moment, it is so humbly amazing, and it's such a blessing. But let me talk about myself. I'm just so excited for my LS.
Tell us about you.
I am an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I own my own K through 12 private school. I call it educational institution. And also I just got my real estate license. So now I am a realtor.
Yes.
And last year of 2023, June to be exact, I graduated with my doctoral degree in education. So, which is amazing because all of my degrees are so diverse. I am so not an educator. I am a businesswoman. You hear me?
Listen,
from a bachelor's degree in finance to my management, my MBA in management, and because I went into education with a heart of passion, God said, "Okay, it's time to get that education degree and get a degree in education." Yes. So I did graduate, but it was a journey. It was a journey. Ashley talked about in 2018, that's when we actually met each other when we was online. And of course, me, the private one, this one over here, pushed me out and said, "You know what, sis, you just have a voice that everybody needs to hear," because we spent hours on the phone
all the time.
And when we hang up, it's just so empowering. So in 2018, when I met Ashley, that's where I'm going to start. Yes. I had just went through, we crossed in April, and then my cousin ended up getting murdered in June. Yes. And he was my brother. We were cousins, but we was 22 days apart. So we grew up from pampers to almost the age of 30. Yes. And when he died, it was one of those things where I lost my mind. Listen, you all. Yeah. I checked out. Yeah. It was bad. To the fact that my doctor wanted to prescribe me some medication that can reverse my neurons into happy neurons. I wasn't doing that.
We're gonna talk about it, y'all.
It was bad. it was bad. I never lost someone to that magnitude, and it took me out. And we had our coming out show. I want to say maybe a couple of weeks after his funeral, and I showed up. I showed up when I told everybody I wasn't going. But let me back up, because let's talk about sisters. They showed up at the wake. And when I looked up, because I'm very close-knit with my family. Yeah. But when I looked up and I saw them reds, I said, wait a minute.
Listen, the reds going to show up every
I said, you all are here for me. Yes. And it touched me in a way because it's so hard to find genuine people.
That's the key.
And that's the reason why I believe as Black women, we go through so much on our own. Because a lot of folks say genuine, but I'm still telling my body.
We're going to keep going.
So, it pushed me into just living a life of, you know what? Yeah. We literally have one life to live.
We do.
And I stopped going to school, which I was on track to graduate actually the next year with my doctorate. I quit. I gave up. Yeah, I did. I can say that proudly. I quit school. Right before that, I went through a divorce.
Yes.
After that, I ended up pushing forward because I needed something to hold on to.
Yes.
And I can say that God spoke to me. When God speaks to me, he speaks to me 2:00 in the morning. And I'm a person that loves my sleep. And he was waking me up at 2:00 in the morning during a detrimental time in my life. I still go through it. And he said, now is the time. So I pushed out the private school. And like any business, you have your trials and tribulations.
Wait, I'm sorry, Dr. McCullough. You said you pushed out the private school.
I had to birth that thing. I found my passion and my purpose in my pain. So I'm going through it. You know how we show up every day?
Yes.
With a smile on our face? Broken. I was broken. Some days I'm sitting in the car crying. And before I exit out, I put my Vaseline in my eyes and I go to work.
Yes, you show up still.
So I ended up birthing the private school, which was its own challenges within itself at first. And it became one of those things where my faith strengthened. I found my sisters in that time.
Yes.
I have my family. I love my family. Yes. My mom is my backbone. My aunties are like my mom. My dad keep me on track. My cousins, like we're a close-knit family. But one of the things that I learned is that when you find genuine women that's not your blood, that's for you, ride with them.
You got to.
And this one over here ride with them.
Listen, the wheels fall off, and then we gonna put them back on.
So that is just like a little snippet with the private school. Last year, I'm a journal person. I journal everything.
Yes.
And in 2019, I wrote down that I want to be a realtor. And I actually, once I graduated in 2023 with my doctorate, I decided to get my realtor license. But let me say this. When I say allow your pain to produce your purpose, allow your passion through your pain to produce your own purpose, Nova sent me a good letter because remember I told you I quit, right? I wasn't planning on going back. And they told me that I was going to have until December of 2022 to finish a certain part of my thesis, which I was not close. I completed my classes, not my thesis.
Talk about it.
And they was going to kick me out of school. Or I would have had to go in front of the board. Dr. Storm said, yeah, y'all got me messed up. 8 months, I finished.
That's my girl.
It's doable. Everything in life is definitely doable. So I'm excited to be here just to shine some light on, just to be encouraged. Because I believe that we all need to be encouraged, especially because we deal with daily things. My day today was crazy.
Oh, wait, we're going to talk about that. Because let me tell y'all, I usually talk to Dr. Storm, throughout the day. And today was the day, like, we've been, as the podcast has been leading up, we promoting it, we're posting. I didn't hear from Storm all day today. And when I finally talked to her, it was like we both wanted to stay on the phone and just cry.
Yes.
And we truly feel that this podcast has so much purpose for it.
Yes.
Like from the moment I previously talked to Dr. McCullough about having this podcast to be created. And we kind of both got busy. It wasn't like we did not want to do it. It's just we got busy, I believe. And then I said to her the other way, I said, we're going to do this. Right. And she said, you know what? Let me call him right now. And we're going to set it up. And we're going to get it done. And when I say we're living in answered prayers.
Yes. Ooh.
Like we're literally here right now. I never forget. I wrote 300 goals. I wrote down my 300. And this was one that I had listed on there. And y'all don't understand. Your girl done been through some things to get to this very moment. From losing your mom, losing your father, losing your brother just a year ago, and to be present and intentional to help and give God's word to those that are in need and those that are hurting. And I'm doing it with one of my partners. It's an amazing feeling right now. So I am super excited for what God has to come for this podcast. And I could not have not asked for a better partner to do this with, y'all. Someone who also wants to pour into not only the children's lives, but also within our local community and nationwide. This thing is going to be bigger than we've ever even imagined. I feel like when you have things that are coming into fruition, the enemy attacks the most. And when I say this week was the hardest week ever, guys, like I kid you not, from my little baby having to be in the ER, I think that we were going to even make it home, but God.
Yes.
He's home and he's enjoying himself and being the busybody who he is, y'all.
My baby.
He is amazing. And I'm just so thankful and grateful to be here in this moment. And I'm just sitting here. I'm just like, I'm not going to cry, y'all. I promise y'all I'm not going to cry at all, man.
But you know what? I think one of the most important things as encouraging women, how do we encourage each other? Because that's important. Because I always feel like as women, I say, a lot of people ask me, where do you get your determination from? And I tell people, you know what? I was raised by a strong woman. And when I think about my ancestors, I don't do this storm.
Right.
But I do this for all the women that came before me.
Correct.
So why not work this hard? Because when I think about my history, the women before me, they picked cotton. Why I can't go to school?
Listen.
They had to wake up at a certain hour. So you telling me I can't work my behind off when they was required to? So I believe as women, and especially African American women, we just at that place where, yes, we're strong. Yes, we're independent. But let me tell y'all something. I'm tired of being strong.
Listen.
And I'm tired of being independent. What's the stand? This is my soft girl season.
This is our soft girl season, man. We want to live and enjoy life. But it's amazing how the Black woman, every woman is powerful.
Yes, we are.
Every woman, but when it comes to a Black woman, it's just one of those things. We have to push ourselves even further in life. We have to grind 10 times harder than the next woman or the next man. And at the end of the day, I just thank God for those praying grandmothers that we were raised by.
Come on.
That have placed and planted seeds in our lives. I'll never forget when my grandmother told me, she said, Ashley, stay before the Lord.
Yes,
baby.
God.
Stay before the Lord.
Now, this ain't no church, but we might hit a couple of scriptures. Because, but God.
Like, I'm telling you, it's something about it. It's one of those prayers that just continues from generation to generation. And this is where we're at right now in our lives. And I'm so thankful.
Yes, I believe that we do live on our ancestors, our grandmas and our mama's prayers. Although we do need to know God for ourselves or what you believe in, but we believe in God.
No, first and foremost.
I just believe and I know that everything that I have experienced, and Lord knows I have went through some things that I still to this day, go through some things.
Yes.
I always say everybody want to be an entrepreneur, but my first question is when somebody tells me they want to be a boss, the first commitment, are you willing to stay consistently on your knees and facing the ground praying? Correct. Because this walk is not easy.
It's not.
It's definitely not. And I believe as just women, we just need each other.
We do.
We have our husbands. We have our children.
Yes.
But it's nothing like a girl's day out.
Talk about it.
It's nothing like a girl's day out. But my thing is, and we have these conversations of why, as African American women, we use the African American, we use the Black woman. Which one is it?
I mean, which one you want?
It don't matter.
Okay.
But why, as women, we don't come together? Because one of the things that I always see, I see so many women empowerment groups.
I do.
But they barely sustain.
This is so true. This is so true. And I think a lot of times with women, I believe there's so many alpha females, and they don't understand you're more powerful when you join together. And
come on now, the Bible says 2 or more come together. You better
say it. So this is what I truly believe. It's like I think that sometimes women want to rush and be the first to do everything.
Yes.
And that is the hardest part about being a Black woman is that you got the information, but you don't want to help me to come up too. Like you don't want to put me on, put your sis on.
Right.
Put me in, coach. So I think it's just one of those things. Like, I'm like, why not? Like, I'm so thankful for our marketing team. Big shout out to Miss Scott. She took good care of us in this process. And if it wasn't for me saying, I need help.
Yes. Oh, now that's a big one.
I need help. I need you
to
help me get there. Like, I know you know how to do this. So can you help me to do what I need to do to get to where you're at as well? And I'm so thankful that she answered the call and said, I got you.
Yes.
That's the one thing is that you got to have them.
Yes.
I'm so appreciative for that. And the same thing for myself and Dr. McCullough. Like, I could call her for whatever. She's like, I got you.
That's right.
Today was the day, man. I was ready to, like, I kid y'all not, the enemy
it was not going to be a podcast.
Listen to me. I was like, I can't do this.
One of my good friends say, well, you still and you still push it through. And I'm like, I got to, because you know what? It's the work of the Lord.
Listen, when you're doing something positive, the enemy he tries listen, I got a 1-2 hitter, like, that's going to knock him out hard. Like, I promise y'all, like, that's it. But today was the day, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is going to be something that's going to really reach a lot of airwaves, and it's going to get us to where we want to be in life and even further. But as sisters, it is so important for us all to uplift each other, continue to pray for each other, showing and connecting you with whatever connection you have. Hey, let me have that conversation. Can you make that call for me to say, hey, I need help with this? So I think that's so important.
It is important because I know a lot of times when you feel like your sister has surpassed you, or they leaving you behind, sometimes that jealousy spirit rises up. That's how the enemy work. He kind of put a jealousy spirit in you and kind of make you feel left behind, but it's not that. So it's not so. Because the reality is, I tell anybody, you want my size 8.5, because baby, hey, you can have them. You could definitely have them, because I sit sometimes and I ask God if we just be intangible.
Yeah.
I ask God, I didn't ask for this.
Listen.
I didn't ask to be no school owner. I didn't ask to become a realtor.
Come on, Dr. McCullough.
I didn't even ask to go for a doctorate. My cousin tell me all the time, you just love school. And I tell her I don't. But in order for me to be successful and to be an example for the younger generation that's growing up behind me and for my future babies, I got to set a pathway.
Yes.
And that means that if I have to take the heat and make the sacrifices for them, I'm willing to do it.
Right.
And that's one thing that I always tell my students. I'm the principal that's all in their business. I'm also the principal that will give my last. And I'm also the principal if I had to determine whether or not they're going to eat and I'm going to eat Roman noodles, Dr. McCullough go eat Roman noodles.
Right.
Because R.E.D. Learning Academy is going to have it all.
Yes.
So even when I tell you with the R.E.D. Learning Academy, I actually named it after my cousin R.E.D.
Yeah.
That was his nickname. And I'll go even further to say this. The last time, let me tell you how God works.
Talk about it.
When I saw his body, I walk inside of a building where I last seen his body.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people knows that.
Yeah.
And to have the strength that I do every day to walk inside a building to where I last seen him, I know it's nobody but God.
Yeah.
But I also believe that God takes you through different avenues in life for when you say, I did it, no, the Lord did it.
Yes.
So when it comes to just having that sister circle, it was my sisters outside of my family members that got me through. So I believe that the empowerment of the encouraging woman, for one, Ashley has a powerful story. I tell her all the time as a mother, as just a public figure. I tell her all the time she the plug. But when you deal with day-to-day life and you still smile.
Man, listen. Y'all.
And when Ashley tell me, I just want to cry, I say cry.
You better cry. She said, you better just let it out.
Just cry.
Let it out. It's okay.
But it's important to have, safe places and safe spaces. And one of the things that I do want to talk about is the older generation, meaning the women that is older than us.
Yes.
And how much of an importance they play in our lives.
Man, listen.
Because we got some women that's some bad women that we call sisters.
We got
them. They real bad, y'all.
They are amazing, y'all.
But the blessing behind it is they pour into us. It's a different level when your parents pour into you.
Yes.
It's a different level when your pastor pour into you. But when you see a sister
pouring into you
that has already made it, that has already been through, that turn around and say, hey, I got you. Yes. Don't do that because I did this. So let me show you the ropes. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
And we went through that period.
Yeah.
Over the summer.
Listen, y'all.
Let's talk about it.
We're going to talk about it, man. I know she's going to be so appreciative for us. Like, I mean, our amazing, devastating president. Big shout out to Dr. Ethel Stevens.
Yes, ma'am.
She is one that I will say has poured into us like never before, y'all. Life-changing experience from financially to spiritually. There's nothing we can't do in terms of reaching out to her and just saying, Dr. Stevens, we got this going on. What you think? Like, I kid y'all not. When she heard about our podcast, she said, y'all gonna do some things. Like, listen, she has blessed us tremendously. And I look at myself and I see so much of me in her in our stories, and we're gonna have her on for one of our podcast episodes because I believe that she can pour into our generation. I'm getting chills right now because I'm just thinking about the goodness of things that she has done for both Dr. Storm and myself. And I mean, she's such an amazing individual. You guys have to follow her, add her. I believe it's Dr. Ethel Stevens on Instagram and Ethel Stevens, I believe, on Facebook. But please add her. She has so much information to pour into our community from financially. She has a program, Monopoly. Listen, Monopoly is it.
Come on.
Like, I mean, growing up, I don't recall having a conversation. I was actually raised by my grandparents. I lost my mom. Some of you guys know my story. I lost my mom when I was 8 years old. But I was raised by my grandparents. I don't recall them telling me about finances, y'all. Now, we always had it for the most part, but I don't recall them telling me how to budget. I mean, we know we got to pay our bills on time, but you can't buy that Gucci bag or those shoes that you saw the other week. When you got this bill due, you can't be talking about, I'm gonna put that off to next week, y'all. No, you can't do that. So she pretty much tells you she teaches you about how to budget and how to save.
Yes.
So that is something that I believe every person, every woman, man, you need to go through that program, and you really need to learn about finances.
It's a testimony, and the reason why I brought it up because God said now. When I signed up for Monopoly, you know, we talk about the women that came before us, and you hear their testimonies. And one of the things is that she put something out that I knew would be amazing.
Yes.
But it was over the summer, and you know, Dr. McCullough sleeps over the summer.
She does.
That's my break time. And one of the requirements was to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't even wake up now at 5 o'clock in the morning. However, let's move forward. After graduation, Dr. McCullough had trips lined up. I was outside.
You sure was. And I was with you.
I had trips lined up. And let me tell you something about God, because I had a testimony right in the beginning of school.
Yes.
When we started Monopoly, for the first couple of days, I was just exhausted. I went through a period of running my school, operating a school. We ended successful. In the same time, I was trying to finish a doctorate. Yes. Remember, Nova told me they was going to kick me out. And I told them I'm going to graduate.
Right.
So I had to pull together within 7 months a thesis, a dissertation to graduate. So when we come in the summer, I just knew I was going to sleep. Monopoly came. Okay, let me join. This one over here. We got to join Monopoly. I'm going to catch you next time, sis. No, you're going to catch it this time. Okay, accountability, right?
That's right.
So we went through Monopoly, and I could say for the first 5 days of Monopoly, I was sleeping. I had the phone on, and some days I wake up, and some days I didn't. But I went through a period because I have given literally a lot to just being an entrepreneur. Most people say they want to be a boss, but the first 3 to 5 years is one of the most treacherous testimonies.
Talk about it.
And I went from being in the classroom making close to $60,000 now on my own school, and my CPA told me I made $21,000 in 2022.
Lord.
Actually, let's go back. Yeah, I made $21,000.
Talk about it.
You talking about somebody that was used to making 60 bands. But God. So as I'm going through the summer, I'm trying to figure out how to storm.
Yeah.
Just I want to take trips. I want to take flights. But I only made $21,000 and $18,000 that probably went back to Red Learning. Right. But I say that humbly because when I went through Monopoly, I knew that I had a savings to travel. Monopoly told me I couldn't spend my money because we was on a 40-day financial fast. Mind you, I just graduated with my doctoral degree. So as we're going throughout the program for the first 5 days, I didn't take it too serious, but God started talking to me. Yeah. I got a text message, one from Ashley and one from Dr. Stevens. I said, I'm in trouble, y'all, because I was sleeping. They called my name and I wasn't paying attention. So she told me to listen to the recording. I tell you no lie, I cried.
Yes, you did.
I boo-hoo cried for the simple fact God picked me up in the spirit, not knowing that the enemy was using me mentally and was telling me, girl, go back in the classroom. Go back in the classroom. Why do you have all this stress on you? Go back in the classroom and make 60 figures. And you got your doctorate now, right. So you may be up there a little bit.
Move up quicker, girl.
And to say that I had to speak to my mind and say no.
Yes.
And Dr. Stephen always poured me in to tell me that small beginnings are great because you build that foundation.
Yes, you do.
So as I went through Monopoly, I can't spend my money. I don't have no money to spend. I remember I made $21.
Correct.
But the thing about it, you would have never knew that.
Never.
And I paid all of my bills. So as we went through Monopoly, it was Bible, it was financial literacy, it was just so empowering. So now I had to carry that. I didn't know I needed that lesson inside the school year.
Right.
August and September, all of the private schools went through, I could call it the perfect storm. Because during that time, we were not getting paid.
Wow.
So every owner had to figure out how to start the school year,
right,
manage the school year, and still operate the school year without receiving not a dollar.
Not one penny. That's
Thank God for Monopoly. Mind you, I was taking flights, but Monopoly told me I couldn't spend my money.
no.
But in the middle of going through such a program, I found Storm.
Yes.
I found me.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, Storm, you're just so strong. And I tell people a lot of times, the best thing I know how to do is I get on my knees and I pray.
You have to. You have to. Trust me, you have to. And I just think about when you say just spending that time alone, like, I mean, 2 years I spent alone. I spent time just being depressed. Depression is real, y'all.
Yes,
mental health is like so real. And it's one of those things, like, I talk to, I spend a lot. I say, the big thing when you have that mental health challenge is one of those things that you can't see, but you feel it.
Yes, you do.
You know that it's there and there's a problem, but you just have to push through no matter what. I spent 2 years. I'm just thinking about you saying of the time frame of 2022 and 2021 was during the time frame I had my little one. And I kid you not, that postpartum and depression mixed together. And during that time frame of me losing my big brother, my right hand partner in crime, like, it was one of those things that it's life changing.
Yes, it is.
And to go through things in life. And I feel like how you're able to get through it is really honing in on the word of God. Because if I didn't have God in my life, y'all, this podcast would not be happening.
And I won't be sitting here today.
Not here today. Not here today. So I just believe that 2021, 2022, 2023, those are the times of survival mode.
Yes.
Those are the time frames of just trying to get through the daily tasks. I never forget, y'all. And what helped me in so many ways, I never forget my godmother. She popped up at my house, y'all.
It's always the mothers.
It's the mothers, y'all. They be knowing when something going wrong with their babies. They know God be telling them something wrong with my child. This lady has never been in my house, y'all. I have lived on my own for years. She has never popped up. And I think about, I don't think my God has ever been in my house.
But she came to see
about her baby. At my grown age, she popped up on me and she saw that my house is in a disarray. It's not one of those things that was not a dirty person, y'all. Let's be clear. Let's make it for the record. Okay, I'm not a dirty person. But it was one of those things that you see the mess and you see the clutter, and she saw it. And I was like, oh my gosh, she sees me.
But you know what? I remember when you said that she popped up at your house and you said, Storm, if my mom was alive, I know raising my kids would be different.
So different.
I know I would have a different level of help. And I remember saying to myself, I actually walked in my mom's room and I sat on her bed and I looked at her. And in that moment, I literally just started thanking God for my mom. And I'm very appreciative of my mom.
Yes.
But to see you, it's one thing when we talk about our struggles.
Yeah.
But it's a difference when you experience what your sister go through.
Yeah.
And to see you overcome so many challenges, it's just amazing. And I always say, as Black women, we have this stigma of strong, independent woman, which I'm still trying to figure out where they come from.
We don't know.
But yes, we have to be strong.
Yes.
I get it. I get it. But I always say, Ashley, you my sister keeper. So if I'm dealing with something, you make my load just a little bit lighter.
Yep.
Because guess what I could do? I could be tangible. I could be honest. And I could be who I am behind the scenes to where it is encouraging me.
Yes.
To be in front of the scenes.
Yes. Because I'm one, y'all listen, I know y'all think that I just love being on the camera. If you follow me on social media, no, I really truly don't. Like, I like to take pictures for memories. That's the reason why I love taking photos. However, I'm not one to be vulnerable. I told my other good girlfriend about this. I said, I've never been the type of person to be vulnerable.
Why? Because I had to learn that, and I'm still learning how to be vulnerable.
Listen,
it make me nervous.
I'm telling you, man, you got us over here like, man. But I kid you not, I don't like to do the social media vulnerable, but I realize with my audience that they learn and they're able to become better.
Right.
It helps them heal when you're able to be vulnerable in your state of where you're at and expressing it. Like right now, on my social media, I'm getting back fit in the gym.
Yes.
And y'all, thank God for Dr. Storm, y'all. Here she comes.
I'm serious about my crown.
Here she comes. I said, man, listen, we're going to go back to it's so many things I want to tell y'all about. But right now, we're at a point where we're going through the accountability phase of the fitness journey, okay? It is a serious situation.
Yes. But why, I want to know why the word vulnerability.
I don't know.
It makes us nervous.
I don't know, man.
Because we've been hurt so much by our sisters.
It's so true.
That's why.
It is so true. Look, man, listen.
Because I'm not afraid to be vulnerable with my mom.
No.
I'm definitely not afraid to be vulnerable with my aunties and my cousins.
Right.
But when it comes to another woman that's not my blood, I look at you like, I gotta give you no ammunition to use it against me later. No. Not doing it.
And I think it's because sometimes you have been hurt by your sister before. Mm. You have gone through things with them, and they throw it in your face. It's just like even in a relationship, when you're vulnerable with your partner, you're telling them, you're expressing how you feel, and the things you've been through in your past relationship, and you don't want that hurt to happen again. And then here you go again. So I think that's why sometimes people they don't want to be vulnerable. They have their wall up and they're like, nope, this me, you're going to see me looking good and I'm out. Like,
But I think that we do it so much, especially as women. Mm-hmm. We put on the perfect mask. I call it the perfect storm because I always tell people, if you really knew the truth behind my smile, you may think a little bit different if you ever want to judge me.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the only thing that I desire to do is the work of the Lord.
Right.
That's it. Now, am I perfect? No, never to strive to be.
Right.
But I do now as I get older. Yeah. I honor my sister's relationship.
Yeah.
In my 20s, as I get older, yes. And it's one of those things where when we talk about encouragement and encouraging each other, it's important.
It is.
Because we go through things. We go through the deceitfulness. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business.
It's true.
We go through the hurt. Yes. We go through the pain. And a lot of that stuff, it carries because it manifests.
It does.
It manifests.
And I'm just thinking about with relationships, whether if it's with friends, significant others, family members, you just want people to not only be vulnerable but be intentional in your life.
Oh, that's my 2024 word, intentional.
And it's so crazy. We were just talking about what our goals are, like in terms of our theme for the year. And Dr. Storm was like, mine is intentional.
Yes.
I'm like, nah, mine is the opposite. Mine is where I'm gonna put Ashley first. Okay. Ooh. I'm going to put me first because all of last year I wanted to be intentional. I wanted to balance all my many hats that I have. But this year, Ashley's focusing on her. I had to make one of the toughest decisions with, do I want to move further, higher up in my career?
Yes.
Or do I want to stay in my position, groom myself better in what I want for my businesses? And I chose myself.
That's good. Because sometimes you got to take a step back.
You do.
Several. To move forward. Because before Red Learning, I had a 2-door BMW, all red seats.
Y'all, it was bad, y'all.
And I gave it up. I gave it up because I knew what I wanted.
Yes.
I wanted to own my own school, and I was willing to make a sacrifice. But throughout those years of actually being an entrepreneur, it's definitely a big difference from making a sacrifice to being obedient.
Yes.
Now I'm at the point because I want to be obedient because my sacrifices still kept me in the lion's den.
That's right.
But when I learned how to be obedient, that's really when I saw God move on my behalf.
Yes.
And he moves on my behalf.
Yes.
So a lot of people look at me and they say, well, Storm, how do you make it? Yeah. Yes, God first, but I have a determination for myself.
Yes.
I have a determination for myself. Because I just desire to be in, not even, I tell people all the time with all my degrees and my leadership positions and roles, I'm not here to be no role model.
Nah.
Because at the end of the day, I am an imperfect person. Yes. We all are. I just want people to have the experience of knowing that it doesn't matter what you go through in life.
Right.
You have the opportunity to be anybody you want.
Anybody.
I tell my students that if you can't reach for the sun, try to reach for the next moon. Try to go for Mars. Go out.
The next one.
Because Dr. McCullough is definitely praying to go to one of those. Not literally. But why not?
Yes. So
why not?
I mean, man, this is one thing that's just been blessing us like never before. Like this encouragement. I believe that encouragement in general, man. When I think about the name Encouraging Woman is all of us, guys.
Yes,
Let's just keep in mind,
a village.
It takes a village to continue thriving in life and to get to the next level. We all need some encouragement, and that is truly what Encouraging Woman is all about.
Right. Because you are my sister's keeper.
Man, listen,
I am not successful without my sister's keeper.
Yeah, because you need that village to continue growing in life. Like, you really need your village to, like, when I say I'm thankful for my village, from family to my sisters, my mentors, like, I feel like everything helps to shape you as a woman.
It does.
Every aspect, it helps to shape you.
Because the Bible says life is going to happen.
It is.
Life is going to happen. And I tell people, yes, I want the right people in my life, but I want the right people that can pray right.
Correct.
Because when I come to you and I tell you I'm in the middle of this storm, I need you to shut.
Listen, come on now.
Pray right.
Pray it right.
Pray right.
That's it.
And that's what it's about. Mm-hmm. So as I call us the young tenderonis, even though we're not 20 so far.
We're so late, Lord.
But as women just growing up in society, I believe that we are our own enemies. Mm-hmm. Because mentally we come against ourselves. We're very hard on ourselves because we carry so many crosses. We want to carry our cross, your cross, everybody. His cross, their cross, the children's cross, everybody cross. Everybody. And I remember telling my mom, I said to her, it's not wrong to put yourself first.
Right.
But I had to learn that when I experienced a loss. Mm-hmm. So when you say Storm, this season is about Ashley.
Yes.
I told you I'm so proud of you.
Yes, you did.
I went through that 2 years ago. Because at the end of the day, how can you bless me if your cup is half empty?
Listen.
So I need your cup to be filled, baby. Mm-hmm. Because when I need you to rise up.
Come on now.
So it's important to just fill your own cup. It's important to just pour into yourself. Yes. It's important to self-love.
Self-love, self-care, and truly that has been my journey. I mean, 2 years of being by myself, 2 years of trying to make sure I'm healing myself from the inside out. I mean, now fitness, oh my gosh, y'all, let me tell y'all, it has been the best experience ever thus far. And I feel like no matter what you're doing in life, you got to do it when you feel ready, not when somebody else tells you that you should do it. No, you have to do it on your time when you feel that you're ready and prepared to push yourself, because you don't want to do something and you're not enjoying it.
Right. And you're not intentional. You're not intentional about it. And it's so important, because I remember when I was almost 40 pounds heavier. In 2020, I was 40 pounds heavier. Mm-hmm. I used to look at myself in the mirror and say, who is this person? I felt ugly inside. Mm-hmm. But I had these degrees.
Yep.
I had this school.
Yep.
And on the outside, it looked like your girl had it together. And I remember looking in the mirror and I said, you know what, Storm? Get yourself together. Mm-hmm. Get up. Mm-hmm. Sarah Jake said, girl, get up.
Girl, get up. You can rise up right now. Sis.
And I had to take accountability. Yes. And I feel like that accountability is and I had to sacrifice. Mm-hmm. So it got to the point where, yes, I hear the, I work, I got children, I got a husband. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have all that.
Yeah.
But when you don't have self-love, you have none of that. Because when you give, and your cup is empty, tell me who's filling your cup up.
Right. Correct.
Because technically we got to go through it on our own. That's what society will tell us. Society will also tell us that, girl, you better not trust women. You better not trust women. And I get it. Mm-hmm. And I understand. Mm-hmm. But I always say, when you find the right connection through God, that's something that you cherish.
Correct.
Because I could pick up the phone and I could take my wig off. Listen, take my wig off and be who I am behind camera.
Correct.
And it's because of my sister circle.
Yes.
So it's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's truly amazing. Just so proud of you.
Oh man.
Listen, the Bible says, I don't know if that's in the Bible, but give a person their flowers. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you all. This actually taking me out of a shell. But let's go back an hour ago. I'm a private person.
Listen, you private. I am one of the most private individuals, man. I can't y'all know. No, this is true.
On Instagram, I got maybe 400 followers.
Listen.
You got thousands.
Hush.
Because I just delete.
Like, no. I don't know who this is who coming for me, Lord. Let me take them off my page.
But you know what? One of the things that I realized, even in that, is one of those things where, let's talk about insecurity.
Oh,
yeah. Because sometimes as a leader, I have to check myself, and I'm like, at the end of the day, when I walk into R.E.D. Learning Academy, I'm Dr. McCullough.
Right.
As a new broker. I mean, as a new realtor. And when I walk in my broker office, Dr. Storm, the realtor. But when I leave both places, I just want to be Storm.
Right.
Because, baby, I set my wig off in the car. I'm just being honest. She taught me to be honest with y'all. So I'm being honest.
She does, y'all.
I take my wig off in the car. My mom look at me and say, "Well, is you gonna put your wig on?" I'm tired of that style. Go to the other way. that wig look too brown up there.
Talk about wigs, Lord.
But it feels good to say it, because guess what? I'm not perfect.
Right. Absolutely.
Guess what? It's me. At the end of the day, it's who I am.
It's, you're just being your true self.
Ooh.
And that is so important. I kid you not. Like, I mean, I just think about, I did a birthday photo shoot last year. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all see the photos, but I hate the fact of my weight. Okay, I hate the photos. Are gorgeous. Shout out to our photographer.
Yes, Jay is amazing.
Miss Jay is amazing, y'all. We will tag her below so you guys can also follow her. I believe in just promoting everyone who has helped us on our journey thus far, and that is continuously helping us. We got a photo shoot Saturday, Miss J. Don't forget, girl. But that was one of the shoots where I felt the most insecure. But when I say, I just look at them now and I'm like, Ashley, you are gorgeous.
Yes,
you are beautiful, and you are greatly loved.
Affirmations are so important, because when I took my 35th birthday, honey, I was in a bodysuit.
Y'all.
And I have a picture where I was completely naked up top, and I just had my hand over my breast. Ain't lying. But you know what? It was that point that Storm was coming out of that shell.
Yes.
Storm was coming out of the shell of Storm. This is who you are.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is a line that's drawn. Yes, I gotta to act accordingly.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I'm still human. I'm still a woman.
Yes, you are.
I'm still me.
Yeah.
And if I want to take my wig off while I'm driving, I'm gonna take my wig off.
And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the wig off, y'all. Like, I'm literally getting into wigs, y'all. Y'all know this. Y'all see my pages. Y'all see sometimes I may have my hair and sometimes I may not. But I'm telling you, doing the wig thing is like kind of awesome, though. I kid you not. You need to switch it up a little bit.
But I just believe, as we wind down, the first episode was really just breaking the ice, guys. It was breaking the ice. Nothing is scripted. One thing that I do believe in, authenticity, that we are authentic to our true selves, and to be a vessel for the women that look like us and women that don't, the children that is growing up, because I feel like the generation that's coming up, we ain't gonna talk about it, but Jesus. Because if that's gonna be my future doctors and lawyer, help me. Lord help me. So Encouraging Woman is one of those places where I can say it's a safe place here.
It is.
It's a safe place, and as two young tenderonis, remember tenderonis.
We're gonna be tenderonis.
as two young women that are entrepreneurs, a mother, a future mother, future wife.
Come on now.
And on top of that, we are women of God.
Yes.
And to be as tangible, but to give the world.
Yes.
Because this is the world.
It is.
To give the world a place where we could just have some girl talk. She speaks.
Listen, she speaks, and be ourselves.
I think that's be ourselves. Yeah.
We're being ourselves. Yeah. Like, I love it, y'all. I love it. But we truly appreciate everyone that took the time out tonight to tune in. Because that's the biggest thing. We wanted people to tune in. Y'all not only tuning in, y'all liking, y'all commenting. And we truly appreciate that. We want to continue giving y'all some encouragement.
Yes.
Because we all need it.
Yes. And take some questions and have, some speakers and let's talk.
Listen.
Listen, we got a lot to say. The men said we talk too much, but I don't think we talk about the right subject.
I think we truly don't talk enough sometimes. You know what I mean? But she speaks, she has a voice, and she's going to be present.
Yes.
So we are looking forward to our next episodes that are coming. Like, the requests are coming, and we truly appreciate it. Like, I never forget just putting the information out in the DMs that I was getting. I was like, whoa.
Yes.
You see us?
Yes.
You see what we got going on?
And I'm like this here, Lord, this girl got to do the podcast. I don't even know what she want me to talk about. First and foremost, what I'm talking about. And you just...
and I was like, no, we're not gonna post what we're talking about. I want them to just come on and be nosy, because y'all love some nosy stuff.
All in my business.
All in my business.
Lord Jesus help me.
So that was the biggest thing. Like, we are so thankful. Like, we have some great guests that will be coming to join us and spending time with us and having a conversation. In the time frame, I feel like it's really good, because people are winding down. They're preparing dinner. They're getting the kids ready for the bed.
Yes.
Why not scroll through and see some positive things?
Let's talk. Let's
talk about it.
Our president say some chit chat.
Some chit chat. Chat and chew.
Some good tea from Neo Life.
That's right. We gonna tag you below too.
So just to have a place where I believe that us as women, that young women, remember, young to the room, that can come together and just encourage one another, because I'm here to tell you, we need it.
We do.
Because we balance so many different things. I remember not even an hour ago, I was on Instagram and I saw that she's a reporter, and she came out and said she had breast cancer, and my heart just went out.
Yeah.
Because the statistics for breast cancer among the Black women is 40%. But to hear she was fine, she did her checkups, she didn't smoke, drank occasionally, right, and the doctor tell you that you have breast cancer.
Life-changing.
So many life-changing events. One of the things that I can say, I hear my big sister say a lot: check on me before you check me.
That part.
Check on me before you check me.
Talk about it.
And when it comes to just having that encouraging woman, that sister circle, where we could come and just lay our hair down and take our wigs off, and just be ourselves, and to learn. I love to sit at the table of wisdom. Why? Because it's women that went before me. We tell our children all the time, you're not doing nothing that I did before. Because I always say, if I knew what I know now, back then, I probably would have made a lot of changes.
Yes.
But thank God for the experiences that got me here today. So I'm grateful.
Yes.
But we need each other.
We do.
We need the older generation. We need the younger generation. Yes. But also, I am honored to be a vessel.
Come on now. He's a vessel. You're the vessel. You're the vessel. We're the vessel.
Yes. The vessel. So I want to thank Ashley. I am Ashley D.
Come on now.
For saying yes to the calling through your smile.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, she's a very strong woman. Outside of being a strong woman, you're just a bright light.
Yeah.
So you keep that smile.
I appreciate it.
And you got this, sis.
I appreciate
it.
Girl.
So
we appreciate you. First of all, I appreciate you for coming on and answering the calling. Like, come on now. I told Storm, I said, we're going to do this.
Yes.
And she did not hesitate. She said, let me make this call.
Catalyst.
I was like, wait, hold on. You want more information? She was like, no, let me make this call. And I was just like, wow. That's all I had to do.
The time is now. The time, and you know, the Bible say when it's your season.
It's your season.
It's your season.
It's the green light.
Come on now.
It's the green light.
Because I'm in my convertible two-door red seats, the black interior. I'm here in 110.
Come on, I'm right behind you in the G-Wagon.
Just don't pull me over.
I won't pull you over. But we appreciate you guys tuning in and look forward to additional information for our very next podcast. I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.